الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. مدد يا سيدنا يا رسول الله، مدد أصحاب رسول الله، مدد مشايخنا، دستور مولانا شيخ، دستور يا شيخ. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A 5-minute recap of what we did last week. We've said when you are traveling, and I've sent a WhatsApp note on the aspect of Musafir. I hope by now you have received it, a quite detailed aspect of it, that you're allowed to make Jam Salah, you're allowed to make Qasr Salah. There are certain schools of thoughts, like Imam Abu Hanifa, for example, that says Jam must only be made on Hajj and at Masjid al-Namira. But there are other schools of thoughts. My Sheikh, Maulana Sheikh Nazim al-Haqqani al-Naqshbandi, was a mufti in the Hanafi school of thought, yet he performed Jam Salah to show you the tolerance of appreciating the other madahibs. So this is the approach that we use in Sharia, tolerance to the others, to the other madahibs. When the necessity arises, we use it for our ease, inshallah. So Dhuhr, Asr and Isha is shortened to 2 rakats, and Maghrib stage 3. Fajr stage is 2 rakat. Our Nabi alayhi salam used to perform the witr as well. Jam Salah, we combine Dhuhr and Asr, bring it to Dhuhr, we Iqamat, we perform the Dhuhr Salah, Iqamat again, perform the Asr Salah. If we delay, then in the waqt of Dhuhr, we have to make niyyah, we delay Dhuhr. Otherwise, Dhuhr becomes Qada'an. So we delay, and when the time comes of Asr, Iqamat, we make Dhuhr 2 rakats, Iqamat again, we make Asr. Maghrib and Isha, same principle, we bring it forward. Then we do the 3 rakats of Maghrib after Iqamat, and then after that we Iqamat again, we perform 2 rakats Fard or Isha. Qasr means to shorten. Jam means to combine, bring together, Jama'ah. And don't forget, the rule of Jam is once you have performed Jam Salah, you must carry on traveling. That's the important ruling. Just because you're in a hotel, it's easier, no. That dispensation is not there. Our shuyukh used to say, and our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to take the harder method, but for the murid, make the easy method. So we do whatever we can. And as we said, when we come to the Masjid al-Nabawi, the first thing we do is, with any masjid that we go, our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is in all the masajid. That's why we say, Bismillahi wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. Allahumma aftah li abwab rahmati. You already greeted Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam before even doing the formal greeting, if you want to call it like that. And then last week we spent quite a bit of time about the aspect of greeting our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the frame of mind that you have to be, and not ritualizing everything. And especially if we are people of tariqah, we don't only stick to the sharia of it, we have to rise ourselves by applying the state of tariqah, haqiqah, ma'rifah, the state of ihsan in every ibadat that we do. And may Allah grant us that, Ya Rabbi. So when we spoke about that, we greet our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Of course, we are unable to stand nowadays just fixated on the qabr by saying still no. We are being chased away. So chasing away is fine. They can chase us as far as they want to chase us away. But our heart is still by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this is how we do our greetings. And now that we move on, we take one step to the right. This is how the sunnah. The women, if they are behind, it's one step to the left, of course. But we greet the great personality, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, subhanallah, the most beloved companion of our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The person, when he came from Mi'raj, he was the first one to say, I accept the Mi'raj of our Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Imagine we were born more than 1400 years ago, and we had to speak about intergalactic space travel and so forth. Could our minds handle that? But the Sahabi Kiram, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, the Imaam, was such that they said, yes, it is so. And his favorite title is even mentioned in the Quran. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثاني اثنين إذ هما في الغار. And he was the second in the cave. The غار, cave. إذ يقول لصاحبه, and Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told his companion, who was it? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Do not fear, Allah is with us. Remember the spider came in front, and the soldiers, the Quraysh were coming. But this is the miracle and the beauty of what happened. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said that one day the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was ill, and his head was wrapped with a amama for the headache that he had. And he sat on the mimbar, and he says, and I quote, if I were to take an intimate friend, says Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I would take Abu Bakr. But the best friend for me is the friendship of Islam. He then ordered all the doors of the neighboring houses to be closed, except for the door of Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu. And that day, according to our shuyukh in Tariqat al-Naqshbandiyya, it is still open. Subhanallah. And when he left Medina, who did he put in his bed? Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajha. But he took with him Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Please understand the concept of it here. Right? He didn't put Sayyidina Umar, he didn't put Sayyidina Uthman. No, Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Ali karramallah. The external side was Sayyidina Ali, the internal side in the cave was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. So when we greet a personality, all this goes in our mind. It's not Salaam alaikum. No. No. We have spoken quite intense about it. Ya Allah. Do understand that Nabi alayhi salam used to say, ما صبب الله في صدر شيئا إلا وصببته في صدر أبي بكر. Whatever Allah has poured into my heart, I have poured into the heart of Abu Bakr. Subhanallah, radiyallahu anhu. And he also says, the secret in the heart of Abu Bakr is not because of his fasting or praying, but because of a secret that took root in his heart. This is the darajah of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. And hence that we find, when we speak about knowledge of tasawwuf, there are two branches. The branch of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and that's where we find Tariqat al-Naqshbandiyya, and the balance of the 40 tariqah come from the door of Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajha. And when they had to run on the orders of Allah, many people misunderstand. They thought they escaped in a sense to run away from Quraysh. No. A prophet is not allowed to run away until he's been told to go by divine order. And it was through divine order that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left Makkah for Medina. And that's why we say, فَأْوُوا إِلَى الْكَهْفِ يَنْشُرْ لَكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ مِنْ رَحْمَتِهِ وَيُهَيِّئْ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَمْرِكُمْ مِرْفَقًا. In Surah Kahf, فَأْوُوا إِلَى الْكَهْفِ, run away to the cave. Hey, this is a special region. People in Tariqah have to run away into Khalwa. They run away into a cave. And so that why? So that Allah will shower His mercies upon them. And dispose your affairs towards comfort and ease, says Allah in the Quran. Eventually, in the cave, as you know, Nabi alayhi salam took the lap of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq to put his head on there, so that he could lie on the leg of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. He took a nap. And it so happened there was a hole in the cave. What did Abu Bakr as-Siddiq do? Radiallahu anhu. He put his heel to block in case anything comes in. And as Nabi was sleeping alayhi salam, something was biting at the heel of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. It was a snake. And because of the pain, the tears fell off the eyes of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and fell onto Rasulullah's face. And he woke up, he says, "What's wrong? Are you afraid?" He says, "No, Ya Rasulullah, I'm afraid for you. Whatever is trying to come in will harm you. That's why I'm putting my foot there and I'm in severe pain." He said, "Take away your foot." And comes through a snake. And the snake, subhanallah, addresses the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he says, "Why are you doing this to my friend?" In the meantime, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took his Mubarak saliva and put it onto the heel of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and it was healed. Subhanallah. He says, "Why are you doing this?" And the snake replies, "I made a promise to Allah 40,000 years ago. When I was created, I want to see the face of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I promise Allah keep me alive until that time, that I can see who you are." So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, "Then see." And our grandchef in the tariqah tells us, for a long time, the snake was turning around and around. And after that, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Once you've had your full, your time is to die." And the snake eventually disappeared. This is the qudrat of Allah, subhanallah, ya Allah. And this was the whole idea of the closeness that we tend to find. So that's why we find the hole that is in our hearts. Our murshid closes for us. And he watches us and sees to it that we don't deviate from Sharia. First and foremost, we cannot emphasize more and more enough that Sharia is our foundation and our basis. Then we can talk about tariqah and haqiqah and ma'arifah and so forth. We all hear the word arafah. That's why the Nabi alayhi salam says, "Man arafa nafsa, faqad arafa rabbah." The one who knows himself will know his Lord, his Rabb. Do you think we don't even know ourselves? We need a murshid to take our hand, to guide and take out all those wrong things, the satanic type of characteristic that we have, and replace it with angelic type of characteristics. So then we will understand, "Man arafa nafsa," the one who stands on the day of Arafah, faqad arafa rabbah. Then you will know what we are talking about, subhanAllah. So, in a nutshell, there's a lot to talk on each of the personalities that we are greeting. So when we say, we get Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Assalamu alayka ya Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiyallahu anhu. And all this goes through our minds. His history, being a father-in-law, etc., etc. And it goes on, subhanAllah. And once we have greeted Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, subhanAllah, then we take one step to the right and we greet Sayyidina Umar, radiyallahu anhu, subhanAllah. What did Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam speak about Sayyidina Umar? He says, "Oh Allah, Allahumma a'izz al-Islam bi-Umar bin Khattab khassa." He said, "Oh Allah, strengthen Islam with Sayyidina Umar." He made the dua. Remember, Umar was an enemy of Islam at the time. If you look at it from another sense, the Sahaba Kiram were all murids of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But Sayyidina Umar was the murad of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the one to be sought. Because Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made that dua so that he can be sought. And what a personality he became once he entered the fold of Islam. So this is how you think, subhanAllah. And how else can we say? Where our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, if there was to have been a prophet after me, it would have been Umar ibn al-Khattab. More. If verily there were among nations before you people who received divine inspiration, if there is one of them in my nation, verily it is Umar, says Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Whoever loves me, loves Umar. Whoever hates Umar, hates me. So the Shias can think about this. Like they don't want to perform Tarawih Salah because they say that Sayyidina Umar made the 20 rakats. Right? Can I tell you? There are 15 places in the Quran where the opinion of Sayyidina Umar conformed to revelation. There were 9 instances which verses were revealed exactly as Sayyidina Umar suggested, and 6 of them were approximate. For example, when the Maqam Ibrahim, Sayyidina Umar saw it, and he tells Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, why don't we take it as a place to make salah there? The ayat came down. وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. And take the maqam of Ibrahim as a place of prayer. That's why in the manasik of Umrah, in the manasik of Hajj, the rituals of Hajj, once you have finished the tawaf, you have to make your 2 rakats. Nafil sunnah there. So you can tell the Shia brothers, they can dispense with Sayyidina Umar, the mere fact that all the revelations came through to him. So we became very careful, very careful. And Sayyidina Umar, when the order came from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Quraysh became intolerable, the order came to everybody, the Muslims had to migrate to Medina. Right? But before that, when Sayyidina Umar became Muslim, he didn't practice secretly. Remember, the Muslims were practicing Islam secretly. Look at the strength of Umar. He says, he puts his arms and he goes to the Baytullah, he goes to the Kaaba, and he says loudly so the Quraysh can hear, what ugly faces! Subhanallah. Whoever wishes to bereave his mother, orphan his children, and widow his wife, then let him meet me behind in this valley. Not one of them followed, as you know. This was the Jalali of Sayyidina Umar. That's why we know when it comes to Sharia, the source is Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. So when we greet Sayyidina Umar, subhanallah, as Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, to such a degree that even shaitan is scared of you. Sayyidina Umar comes, shaitan comes, and shaitan makes a U-turn. Look at him. So when we greet Sayyidina Umar, this is what goes in our mind. Subhanallah. When we finish, especially in Medina, when you are there, then you take 2 steps to the side and we say Assalamu alaikum. We greet him, Sayyidina Umar and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. This is why we do 2 steps. When we come to the ziyarah there's so much to speak about, subhanAllah. There's the hadith, whoever prays in my mosque, missing no prayer, it will be recorded that he is safe from the fire, and is safe from the punishment, and is free from hypocrisy, says Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The experts in hadith, they say the hadith is actually weak. Now please understand, when a hadith is weak, it's not fabricated. And the ulama says, if it encourages you towards goodness, there's no problem in using it. But a da'if hadith, you cannot use in a court of law to pass judgment. So many, especially in the Wahhabi and Salafi people, this hadith is da'if, chuck it away. You don't chuck away weak hadith, subhanAllah, just because one narrator is unknown. This has to do with muhaddith and the studies of hadith. So we did that alone for them. So one of the Mubarak places to visit in Masjid al-Nabawi is the pillar of Abu Lubaba. Abu Lubaba radiallahu anhu was a Sahabi who had family in Makkah. And when the order came that they were going to attack Makkah, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he was strong, he informed his family members, just be safer. Look, it was a family thing. Like they say, blood is thicker than water, these things happen. And eventually, Nabi alayhi salam was informed, isn't it so? He was informed, and Abu Lubaba was castigated for that. And he was ignored. You know, when he said, nobody greeted him. I mean, to be in that state, to be ignored, it's not a nice thing to be. So Abu Lubaba tied himself to this pillar. And he said, I will not release myself until Allah and His Rasul forgives me. And after a period of time, the revelation came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that it is now time that he is forgiven, and they released him. That's why it's called the pillar of Tawbah, pillar of Lubaba. So we go there. We take the barakah. We believe in the blessings of the Anbiya and the Awliya Allah. Whatever, even the athar, the shirts, the hair, we believe in taking blessing from that. It happened to Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam, his father. Was it Yusuf? It happened so many. His brothers were jealous. His father cried all the time. So he said, take my khamis and put it on the eyes and you'll be able to see. This is the athar. And there are so many. We visit Jannatul Baqi. I've given you notes, and you know, I've actually pinpointed where the various qubur are of the various personalities and the families of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You won't find it anymore, because everything has been flattened, and only the people who are the guides and who know will take you exactly to the spots and the places where the qabr or the qubur are. There's also Masjid al-Quba, the first masjid to be built by our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then there's Masjid al-Qiblatayn, where the two qiblas, they were facing Jerusalem. And our Nabi alayhi salatu wa salam's heart yearned that it should be eventually turned back to Makkah al-Mukarramah. And that's eventually what happened. Then there's Masjid al-Ghamama, the Masjid of the cloud. Wherever Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam went, there was a cloud that followed him. There's Masjid al-Jum'ah, the first Jum'ah that was performed. Masjid al-Fatah, it was built where the Battle of Khandaq, Battle of Trench was fought. There's Jabal Uhud, subhanallah, what a story of Jabal Uhud. There's Bir Uthman, the well of Uthman, up till today. The investment which Sayyidina Uthman did, subhanallah, in this well. Remember, he was in partnership with a Jewish lady. If I remember correctly, or a man, I can't remember offhand. They were 50-50 in it. And what happened was, the day which was Sayyidina Uthman's turn, he told the people, take water free of charge. When the Jewish lady's turn, she wanted money. Sayyidina Uthman, a clever businessman, he says, take water for 2 days. When it comes to the day of of the Jewish lady, you ignore her. And it's my turn the next day, take again for 2 days. Eventually she saw the light. Je gaat ik weer in the story, klaar nou. So business sense was, they say now Uthman, buy it out, buy her portion. Which was that? And Sayyidina Uthman made it waqaf lillah until today. In the Ottoman Empire, a bank was in the name of created, and it is still running up till today. The Saudi authorities up till today are benefiting from that. They are taking 50% of that and using it to the contribution of upkeep of the mosque and so forth. The other 50 they're doing relief work. And this is, give them till they are doing that. SubhanAllah. This is the beauty that we are still reaping the benefit. Unfortunately, because what happened at that time in the Ottoman Empire, the money that accumulated, they bought land, and that's how we grew. And the investment grew like that. SubhanAllah. This is the barakah. SubhanAllah. And are we so okay so far? Are there any questions to be asked up till now? Anyone need to know some clarity on anything? No, mashallah. We want to go to the Umrah side of it now. Do understand that going to Makkah, we start first in Madinatul Munawwarah. By going into Ihram for Umrah, so we take the ghusl for Umrah. Like we put on the clothes of Ihram, we make niyyah for Umrah, and we make talbiyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. It is all in my notes, tabulated as it is. Very easy. Subhanallah. Then I suggest we go down to Medina, to Masjid al-Nabawi, and we make our wida of our Rasul, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Of course, you can do it even before you go into Ihram. I always like to put ourselves into a position. Really, we have to be in a position now that we've taken off our dunya clothes and we're back into our akhirah clothes. That's the reality of it. That is the reality. We're in akhirah clothes. Nawaitu comes from the word intawa yantawi. It means to change from one condition to another condition. If you have jewelry, if you have rings or anything, okay, the least you can put on is your watch maybe. But okay, nowadays you have cell phones. Those who have no cell phones, you can see it. What the least amount that reminds you of the dunya, that is what you should have on you. And don't forget, you can't cut nails, can't perfume yourself. Once you're in ihram, can't cut your hair, can't cut, nothing of that must take place. If it happens, dam must be given for those kind of things. Can you shower while you're in ihram? Yes. If the hair falls out while you are making ihram, must you give dam? No, that's a natural process of hair falling out. Those who haven't got hair, mashallah, you are blessed. And you're there to go blessed, so fine, it works well for you. But having said that, go make your wida. The wida of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is painful. As much you think, because now you've made an attachment. Because you're there. If you're there for the first time, or even if you're there for the 10th time, that attachment, that feeling, and that wida, or that salami that you are giving, is something your personal. It's something very personal. Not even if you're husband and wife, you can share many things, but what you share there is your own. Wallahi, your own ruhaniyat. It's very, very personal. And may Allah give you that personal, that it becomes something so beautiful that words cannot express. Subhanallah. When you leave, many people go to Bir Ali, which is the miqat, the boundary which you're not supposed to go beyond when you want to go to Makkah, right? But you can put on your ihram, your clothing in your hotel. It's convenient. Some people don't go by Bir Ali, because if you go by plane, you don't go to Bir Ali. You just go to the airport, off you go. Those who want to, they take you that side. No? You perform 2 rakats and so forth. No problem. Some people, your bator or your leader will say, let us repeat the niyyah for Umrah. Because sometimes in the crowd, you don't know who's learned or who didn't learn properly or what it is. So in one sense, when you have a group, Imam or Sheikh or so forth, then he leads you into that. Right? And he covers the faults of those who don't know. And that is important. You cover. Man satar, the hadith Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the one who covers the faults of one another, Allah will cover your faults. Right? Remember the story? It just struck me now. Nabi Musa alayhi salam, I'm digressing a little bit, but it's very important to understand. Nabi Musa went into the desert with his murid, his followers, and it was a severe drought, and to such a degree, thirst was a huge problem, with no water. So Nabi Musa alayhi salam is appealing to Allah to make dua for water and rain. And Allah answers him, there's one Sahabi of yours there who is a gunegar. He's a sinner for the last umpteenth of years. You need to remove him from that gathering. And Nabi Musa comes back and he tells his companions, there's one of you, Allah says, that have committed sin for many years, 20 years, 40 years, Allahu A'lam. You must remove yourself. Now of course everyone is now looking. Who's going to remove himself? Now can you imagine the sinner? What is he going to do? Subhanallah. What is he going to do? You know what happened? He starts crying. He starts crying, oh Allah, I've been a sinner for so many years. Don't disgrace me. Don't disgrace me in front of all of them. Hide me and forgive me, oh Allah. SubhanAllah. The clouds started coming. The clouds started coming. Musa alayhi salam saying, Ya Allah, what is happening? We're still waiting for the man to remove himself. And Allah answers him, the clouds came because of him. Because of his tawbah, I accepted. Although his sins were so high, but because of his tawbah and maghfirah, I have forgiven him. And that's why the rahmah is coming. Nabi Nuh alayhi salam, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. Nabi Nuh is telling his people, I'm telling you, فَقُلْتُ, I'm saying to you, اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ, make astaghfar to your Rabb, for he is most forgiving. وَيُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. And you will find coming from the samawat, the midrar, the rain. And then the ayah goes further. وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. If you make istighfar, look at all the benefits. You will get mercy, Allah shower. Not only that, وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ, Allah will increase you in wealth and children. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ, and you will be granted Jannah and the rivers of Jannah that flows through it. Ya Allah. This is the beauty of Tawbah and Astaghfar. So before we go to the pillar of Tawbah by Abu Lubaba, before we go to Arafah, before we go anywhere, your Astaghfar starts here at home. Rectify things, what you haven't done. Huququl ibad. Give due to who is due. Give due to your wife, give due to your husband, give due to your parents. You know, the social strings in our community is bad. Wallahi. Wallahi. Yeah. I deal with it day and night. That's the reality of it. And then when I go to Hajj and Umrah, I think that will be fully, not at all. I'm drifting again. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sitting in the congregation. He said, أَتَدَرُونَ مَنِ الْمُفْلِسِ? You know who's a bankrupt person? He said, إِنَّ الْمُفْلِسَ مَنْ لَا دِرْهَمْ وَلَا مَتَاعٍ. The muflis is that person who's got no dirham and no property and no assets and no, in today's terms. The Prophet says, no. إِنَّ الْمُفْلِسَ مَنْ يَأْتِي يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ وَهَكَذَا. The Prophet ﷺ says, that person from my ummah, he comes with his salat, zakat and fasting and everything, all his sawab, he comes like a jannati. But he robbed him, he usurped his haqq, he stole from this one, he said a bad word from this one. Then what does happen? Allah will tell you, وَمِنْ حَسَنَاتِهِ مِنْ حَسَنَاتِهِ. Then take from your good deeds, your hajj, give it to him or to her. Take from your umrah, give it to him, give it to her. You serve the right of your brother or your father or your mother or your whatever, give it. You pay him back time with your good deeds. And then you've got no more. In effect, you are bankrupt. So what does Allah say? فَطُرِحَتْ إِلَى النَّارِ. Throw him into the fire. Allah. You come in Jannati and you go into as a Jahannam. May Allah protect us. So, leading a good life, our access to Jannah is not only because of our good deeds. Don't be careful. Don't be self-righteous and to think, MashaAllah, I'm in tariqah, I make salah, and I do this and I do that, but we are terrible in our lives. We've got ugly ways, also scalama ways, etc., etc. It's going to catch up. Not necessarily Qiyamah, it even catches up in the dunya. May Allah protect us, our children. So, we are on our way to Makkah al-Mukarramah. The sunnah is whenever the vehicle changes, it's sunnah to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. You know, people are lazy when they're on the bus or thing. Hey, dat heb ik slaap voor 5 uur, 7 hours, I want to go sleep. You have to remind each other. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Cooperate each other with good towards goodness. Help each other. So time and again, you don't have to wait for the tour leader to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Suddenly you feel like saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik. You're encouraging your brother and your sister to remind you of Allah. Sometimes your mind will go, I wonder what's happening in my business at home. I wonder what's happening with my family. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Remind each other. This is what it's all about. So we're off to Makkah al-Mukarramah. Any questions so far? Please, I don't mind if you interrupt me in the middle of my talk. It's not only lectures, and I want you to be clear whatever there is need to be asked. You know, we are going to see the Baytullah. There is a question at the back. Yes, we have a question at the back. Ismail, yes?
While Sheikh is speaking about the departure of Medina going into Bir Ali, can one do your ihram and your niyyah at Bir Ali and not at Medina?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But the convenience of your hotel is there. It's like saying when you do your Umrah from South Africa, you're traveling now to Jeddah and then you go straight to Makkah. Right? Can you put your ihram and make your niyyah in your home in Cape Town? The answer is yes. Because Dhul Khalifa is over the sea. Right? You can put it, but you're putting yourself in difficulty, unnecessary difficulty. Right? So similarly, Bir Ali is only the end point. If you can do it before that in your hotel, it's not a problem. Okay. A good question. Yes.
Can one enter Medina first? In terms of taking a journey now into Medina, you freshen up at your hotel and then put on the ihram, then go back to Bir Ali and come back into Medina. Is that recommended?
No. Because that is the miqat for Makkah, for residents of Medina. Right? So when you into also immediately coming back to your hotel.
Sorry, I did it the other way around. You enter Makkah.
Oh, Makkah.
Makkah.
Yes.
Go to the hotel, freshen up, go back out to Bir Ali.
No, once you come into Makkah,
you have to come with ihram.
The first sunnah is to make tawaf al-qudum. Not even tawaf al-umrah, tawaf al-qudum, yani to greet the Baytullah. So you have to be in a state of ihram. Yes, another one.
Yeah, first a quick question.
Yes.
When you say you put the ihram on, you're putting yourself to unnecessary difficulty. Now, apart from the physical side, can you just give some points like how the difficulty is if you're in ihram already?
If you're in ihram, say for example from Cape Town, it's a long trip. You can't scratch, you can't do this, you can't do that. There are certain things that you are unable to do. So hence, that is the difficulty that we're trying to avoid. Otherwise, if you are able to put your ihram in Cape Town and go all the way to Makkah, no problem. No problem. But it is difficult to be in that, you're going to get into a plane, or whether it's, you need to go to the toilet, you need to go to this, you need to do this, and so forth. That is the only difficulty we are talking about. The length of time that you're going to be in the state of ihram from Cape Town to Jeddah. Yes.
The distance, I won't say the distance, but the time from Medina to Bir Ali
Yes.
by bus.
It's not long, it's probably about half an hour, max.
Half an
Half an hour max. Any more? Good. We are on our way to Makkah al-Mukarramah. Subhanallah. We want to go see, as Allah says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن أول بيت وضع للناس الذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين. Makkah was called Bakka all the time. It was the old name. That's why the Quran still uses Bakka. Verily, the first house appointed for mankind was that at Bakka, full of blessing and guidance for humanity. فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم. In it are manifest signs. For example, the maqam of Ibrahim. وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. And whoever enters it will attain peace, security. May Allah grant us all that, Ya Allah. You know, a mother once told her son that the Kaaba says, the one who does not see me will never rest, and the one who sees me will also never rest. Subhanallah. This is the amazing attraction that we are talking about here. And when you come to the Baytullah, the sunnah is, you go settle your downs, something in your hotel. It's sunnah to take a bath, refresh yourself, wudu. This is natural. If you go by bus and so forth, it's 5 hours, 6 hours, depending. By plane, it's much shorter. But then you still have to come by car from Jeddah again this way. But refresh yourself and you're ready to go make your Umrah. When you come again, you make your Salah. You won't have time, maybe it's time for Asr or Maghrib or Subuh, whatever. You make your Tahiyatul Masjid. The Haram is the Masjid that you have to do. And once you're done, now you go to make your Tawaf. But we need to understand various different dimensions of this Tawaf. There are, in another plane, the replica of the Baytullah, which is the Baytul Ma'mur, the Baytullah of the Malaikat, where 70,000 Malaikat make their Tawaf and they don't come back there again, a new lot comes. This is the beauty. But that's the one spiritual dimension of Tawaf. Then there's the cosmic dimension, subhanAllah. Those youngsters here, sitting here, students, mashallah, of science. You know, everything is in anti-clockwise move. Isn't it so? Not clockwise, anti-clockwise. And the reason for that is, everything moves in that way. The electron rotates around itself in an anti-clockwise way. The earth does it in an anti-clockwise way. It goes around the sun. Doesn't all the planets move like that? Subhanallah. The moon does it anti-clockwise. And the planets and the stars, they are all making tawaf anti-clockwise. And it's a natural anti-clockwise movement. And we feel, and I want you to be conscious about it, that we are not going around and around the circle for the sake of just turning around. No. Ya Allah. There's other forces that are with us. Allah is putting His blessings upon us. So many other aspects of it. And one other relationship is, you will find that our heart is closer to the Kaaba. We're not doing it the other way around. Because qalbul mu'mineen arshullah, that the heart of the believer is able to contain Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. That's the reason why we do the ittiba. In other words, we put the ihram, and we'll deal the practical side, which is the easiest part of it, as we go along a little bit later. But just want to touch on you, especially, and the other dimension which you have to focus on. The ritualistic side, it will take probably 20 minutes to do the whole Umrah and Hajj together. Really, that's the reality of it. But when we stand in to make our tawaf, we are facing Hajar al-Aswad. Right? We face it directly in the corner. As we are in this corner here, we are facing the corner. And we make our niyyah of Umrah, of Tawaf. Tawaf al-Umrah. Oh Allah, فيسرها لي. Make it easy for me. فتقبل مني and accept it for me. 7 أشواط. I want to do 7 Tawaf. You don't have to recite it in Arabic. You can make it in Urdu, Zulu, Konkani, whatever language you want to talk. You talk. And you make niyyah. Like, even in Salah, isn't it so? मैं नियत करता हूँ, मैं नियत करती हूँ, ज़ोहर के, you understand? You make your niyat in whatever language, doesn't matter. So, this is the relationship that we are talking about, and there are various aspects in tawaf, and the one I want to draw your attention is that the malaika, Ya Allah, they are making dua for all of us. Right? As they are making tawaf in Surah Zumur, Allah says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين يحملون العرش ومن حوله. There are those of the malaika that are carrying the arsh and they are making tawaf. ومن حوله يسبحون بحمد ربهم ويؤمنون به ويستغفرون للذين آمنوا. They are making tahmeed, praising Allah. They're making tasbih of Allah. Right? And they believe in Him. وَيُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And they're making astaghfar for the believers. Look at it, amazing. You are making your tawaf. They are making their dua and tawaf. So connect. Rabitatul Sharifa. I'm sure in Tariqah we talk about Rabitatul Sharifa. Connect yourself with your Shaykh of Tariqah, your Murshid. Isn't it so? Connect yourself. Right? That's why we always say, before you make tawaf of the Baytullah, make tawaf around your Murshid first, so you can understand what we're talking about. So here we are making this, the Malaikas are making this dua. وَيَسْتَغْفِرُونَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And they go further. Look at this ayah. ربنا وسعت كل شيء رحمة وعلما. Our Rabb, your mercy and your knowledge is all encompassing, is huge. And they go further by saying, فاغفر للذين تابوا واتبعوا سبيلك. Oh Allah, forgive them. Oh Allah, they are pleading for you on your behalf. Forgive them and my behalf. Forgive them and accept their tawbah. وَاتَّبَعُوا سَبِيلَكَ. For they are on your path. وَقِهِمْ عَذَابَ الْجَحِيمِ. And protect them from the fire of Jahannam. Subhanallah. And they're not finished. Look how thoughtful Allah has inspired them. They go further by saying, ربنا وأدخلهم جنات عدن التي وعدتهم. Our Rabb, let them enter into Jannah as you have promised them, O Allah. Amazing. وعدتهم وعدتهم. And not only that, they say, ومن صلح من آبائهم وأزواجهم وذرياتهم. They're not asking only for them, or for you and for me. Also Allah, who must also enter into Jannah as you promised. آبائهم, the pious forefathers and mothers, and azwajim, husbands and wives And who else? ذُرِّيَّاتِهِمْ, and their children, oh Allah. So look at the connection that you are having, that you are performing, Ya Allah. It's unbelievable. So there's a cosmic dimension, there's a spiritual dimension, and you are doing the physical side. But once you connect, you are in all three dimensions at the same time, benefiting from it all, subhanAllah. So, hence I say again, all the du'as that you are seeing, that is in my notes that I have given you, long, beautiful du'as. Wallahi, what beautiful du'as. They are not all, most of them are not du'as from our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Please understand that aspect of it. Right? Some, except of course, is Quranic du'as, Rabbana Atina, but we will come to those sides. But do what you are able to do in a correct manner. If you are unable to understand, you can't go around Allahumma, Allahumma, and then Matof goes. Allahumma, Allahumma, inni, ekenimiani. What sense is that? Right? You are each other. So rather take your own dua and rather go Allah, 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 Allah. Please understand the first three ramals. Ramal, you make as if you run. Now, can Allah, husband, don't run away from your wife. I know you look for an excuse now. But ramal means you literally run on your step. As long as you create some form of exertion. Why was that done? Why do you think? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his Sahabi were weakened. Some of the riwayah said they had diarrhea. And the Quraysh thought, hey, yeah, it's a good plan to do it. They are in a weakened state. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam got the ilham, he got his inspiration by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, he told his Sahabi Kiram, come. Hey, we got extra power now. And they did the ramal for the first 3 rounds to show Quraysh, because they were watching and staring them, and they knew about their weaknesses. And they are running, Allah, 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 Allah. Hey, the Qurayshis, and they got diarrhea, and they got so much energy. I don't want to tackle them when they are khasawant even. You understand? Allah put khawf in their hearts. So when we do our ramal, we are exposing our own inner weaknesses. Oh Allah, assist me, oh Allah. Help me, oh Allah. This is what we are asking. Help us, Allah. I am weak, I'm a da'if. Get that, Ya Allah. And then we say, Allah, Allah. You don't even have to make dua. Don't you see Allah knows what is in your heart? How many times haven't I said this hadith? I said it last night at the mayor last night. I said, the person on the day of Arafah, this is a hadith Qudsi. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that Allah says, that means Qudsi, hadith al-Qudsi, that on the day of Arafah, the Hajj who had only time to praise me, I will give that person more than the person who was just asking dua. Isn't it? Because everything has to do with dhikr. And I think I've said this ayat maybe last week, I can't remember. Dhikr is important in a person's life. It's like our water. It's like our blood within us. For Allah says in the Quran, وَمَن يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ, the one who is blinded, who's dim-witted, who's neglectful, who don't want to do the dhikr and the remembrance of the Ar-Rahman, نُقَيِّضْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا, we will apportion and give him a shaitan. فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ, and he will be a constant companion. That shaitan, may Allah protect us. That's a serious ayat we're talking about here. I know we are speaking to the converted here, mashallah. Our shuyukh give us dhikr to perform every day so we don't forget. But we are lazy. We do forget, we are human beings. But the nice part is we can return back to Him. Isn't it so? Like we heard. The Gunegar of Nabi Musa alayhi salam for 40 years or 60 years, whatever it was. But Allah is Ghafurur Rahim. So this is what we do. Ya Allah. Well, I need questions. Any more questions? So far? There we are. We have a question on the far side. Alaykum salam.
For those that have kids, Sheikh,
Yes.
I mean, I'm picturing myself and my son on my arm,
Fantastic.
my daughter, or give us some practical, Sheikh, give us some practical
Just make sure.
understanding of how we should perform, because now you're concentrating on trying to perform.
How to perform while you have children and kids.
Yeah,
Just make sure you keep your ihram up unless you pull it down. Because you have no underpants on. I'm serious, you know why I'm saying that? When I went for the first time, our youngest one was 2 years old. They were 2 years old. And holding on to my bottom portion of my ihram, I was about to pull it down, so I had to do emergency. So be careful of, we will come to the practical side of the ihram and all those kind of things, inshallah. But you have to be wise, you have to be careful, but having them with you is the greatest blessing that you can take them. It's the greatest azimat that you can take them there, subhanallah. And that will be etched into their lives, and if not even in their lives, it will be etched into their hearts. It will only erupt once they come to fruition, when the time is there. Look, our Shaykh al-Tariqah puts things into our hearts, like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, and it will only come to fruition when the time is right for you to appreciate it. It happened to me. I should, you know, our Sayyid Abu Qadir Naqshbandi, who came from Foriwala, we used to say from Gramat, and came from Syria. Yes, we sat by his feet in the late 50s and 60s. We were children. We didn't even know he's put something into our heart. Right? This is what happens. And then years back, and I mean years, down in the line, subhanallah, this is what he was doing to us, we didn't even know. And this is what your murshid is doing to you, each and every one of you. At this juncture, or at some juncture, or at some stage, you will understand. Then you will understand, oh, subhanallah, it's valid. So, just common sense basically when you have children with you. Be careful, have something to keep them occupied, especially in the haram. Take your Legos with you, those things like that. Whatever can keep them occupied, then you can also have time, your wife can also have time, and so forth. Just common sense. Yes.
Sheikh, question from my side is, you've mentioned departure from Medina to Makkah.
Yes.
One by road, one by air.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a train system that's running that's not open to the foreign nationals yet.
Yes.
I'm not sure by that time if it's going to be accessible or not. But from an advice point, we've got quite a few elders traveling with us.
Good.
Would you advise that we go to Medina, depart from Medina to Makkah by air travel? Because there's still the 1 hour drive from Jeddah to Makkah.
Correct, I did say that.
Or do you think the 5 hour bus is suitable for them? It is some of their first times.
Yes.
I just wanted to know from you if you think...
Each one you have to interview and ask the conditions, because some are salis and bowls. In Sharia, if you have a constant drip, urinary drip, it's a problem. Right? It's a problem for them. But in Sharia, if you're a constant drip, you just make wudu one time, and that wudu lasts just for one walk too, even if you are dripping. So you must you have to ask each person their circumstances. Can they last? Well, look, they have to fly from Cape Town to Medina, or to Jeddah and then to Medina. It is a long flight, you know.
No, just the state of Ihram, that's what I'm questioning, you know.
The state of Ihram, where they have to do it? In the hotel. Right?
No, traveling to Makkah from Medina in the form of wearing the ihram. So I'm just in terms of the elders.
It you know, firstly, the length of time, whether it's 5 hours or 10 hours, they will have to learn to cope with that, right? That's the first thing. If they can manage everybody by bus, it's fantastic, because the bus, you can tell them to stop wherever they want to,
Yes.
but being in that clothing shouldn't be a problem for the women, because they are fully covered.
Yeah.
You know, the males are the problem. They say all we have is that piece of cloth on top and a piece at the bottom. And common sense is we have to use safety pins, assist them wherever to close them properly. So I think you have to ask each one. Obviously, the plane, as you correctly said, and especially if you have a group. My advice, if it's a group, a little bit of struggle by bus, everybody would be easier. Those who can't, you know, this means it's still going to be a long time, because when you connect, you land, now you have to wait, go through customs again. It's probably going to be longer with the plane, in a sense of waiting one side, waiting the other side, then getting through passport control, and then coming through the bus might even be before the time. So my experience has been, it will probably be, because you're a group, wallahi, stick together.
Yes.
If those who really can't, then it's just a 1 or 2, 3 or so that needs to go like that, then you have to make that arrangement. But I think, inshallah, bi'iznillah, barakah our chefs, they will manage, definitely.
Sure.
Any more? There's a lady that side. And I advise you, must do your questions at home, write it on a piece of paper, write all of them and then bring. Yes.
Okay, Sheikh, I've got 2 questions.
Yes.
The one has got to do with the Ihram story. I wanted to know what time is it best to leave Medina to go to Makkah so that you can finish everything in the day. How long does the trip take, and is it best to leave after Fajr, in the evening? And I don't know, as you see now, like it can be 5 hours or 10 hours, do you suggest that the men have it more difficult than the ladies, that they should take 2 ihrams? Because you said you can freshen up in the hotel.
You don't need, thank you for that question, for the first question, you don't need 2 ihrams. 1 is enough. You know, some of our men stay in the underpants for the whole week, so so for the ihram, you're only going to be for a couple of hours. Even if it's sweaty, it's not a problem, really. It's not, you know, it's not that you're not going to be dirty in the sense of najis, blood or feces or things like that. Then it's different, obviously, then you have to wash it and what have you. Then wash it. Even if you're not ihram on yourself, it's like a cool, because you're like you understand? But it shouldn't be a problem, really. Any more?
Okay, I just wanted to know what time.
The time, yes, thank you for that. The time, because it will be winter, their winter, that when you will be going for Umrah, inshallah, end of the year. But their winter is also hot, you know. And normally people try to avoid not to do the tawaf around about 1 o'clock or 2 because of the intensity of the sun. But wallahi, I think it would probably be better to doing it that time. The crowds psychologically will be less. Instead of 2 million, you'll have 1 million. You understand? Look, last year we went, after a long time, in October we went. And everybody said, MashaAllah, you know, you got the Kaaba for yourself. I think everybody said the same thing. It was really chock-a-block. Look, we had a cultural shock, because we went after like 20 years. So it was a massive change for us, you know. But it was full. So end of the year will be extra full, because of the Arab holidays and so forth, and our holidays. But wallahi, you see, if you do it Maghrib Isha time, that's really peak time. And when you have a group like yours, it will be difficult then you have to split the group. Actually, what you have to do, really, as long as you have a companion with each other, husband, wife, mother, father, and so forth, then you should break away. and do it on the mere fact that you're coming here, you're learning what to do. And I always advise people leave the groups alone. You see, in Cape Town there has been a culture that you must go by group and there must be a matov leading you all around Allah. You've seen that. Fantastic. But when you come from Arafat to Muzdalifah to Mina back to the Tawaf al-Ifada, group is basically impossible. It's difficult, it's crazy. So when you're going for the first time, check out the logistics as to how, what way, So the timing, I would suggest stick to the day, not in the evening. It will be full. If you want to do it in the evening, no problem. No problem. But then rather break up into couples, or 4 people or 6 people max. Okay.
My other question.
Yes.
The question was, in Medina, I don't know, for the men it's easier because they can see the covers. For the ladies, it's very confusing. So I'm looking at this map, but I'm totally lost. Where would the ladies be? And because we can't see properly.
Even the men can't see the cover nowadays.
So
right?
Like I'm just confused when I look at it.
Okay, yeah, on the map there, and that's a very old map, probably my note from 1980 or something like when I started, I think. Then, having said that, when you're facing Qibla, if you look on the map there, you are facing Qibla, right? If you face Qibla, you're facing the back of the Rawda of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Are you talking about the Kaaba or the Rawda of Rasulullah? Yeah. Then you are facing the back of the Kaaba of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So when you greet Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you move to your left, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anh, move to the left, Sayyidina Umar. As for the ladies. When the chances come, you do get a chance to go to the front. You do get a chance to go to the front. My wife has just confirmed, you do see that. You do get a chance. But you have to look, the women must look at the opportune time. Don't go peak times. I mean, I hardly saw my wife when I was there, so. Alhamdulillah. I'm in trouble tonight, no. But ladies, really, for the ladies, it's a very hard time. They're very unfair and chauvinistic, or calling chauvinistic and so forth. But normally, just before closing time, Allah will open your ways, inshallah. Okay? Does it answer you? Okay.
Sheikh, just for some clarity there.
Yeah.
The ihram that the men will be donning.
Yes.
Once the ihram is done, it doesn't come off.
Yes, it can come off.
I'm asking the question.
Yes,
so
yes.
That is where I think the...
Okay. Yes, all right.
Clear.
Once you put your ihram on, remember I said when you come into Makkah, it's sunnah to take a bath and then come back to do your tawaf. Because you must go first, freshen up, make wudu, go to the toilet. You can take a bath. And you use the same ihram to cut you. Especially the men and women. We have the luxury in this part of the world that we can change every 6 hours. If you live in the desert type of lifestyle, or Africa and so forth, they haven't got the luxury to live that type of life by changing the clothes every 2 hours. So, as long as there's no najasa, sweat is not najasa. Please understand that. Even if it's smelly, it's not najasa. It's still. So you can take off your ihram, you can take a shower, you can put the same ihram on again. There's no niyyah. The only time you're out of ihram, the putting on of. Okay, let me give you a quick question. You have taken your sunnah bath for ihram. Now you're putting on the clothes of ihram, right? Now you have performed your 2 rakat sunnah for ihram, right? Now you have made talbiyah of ihram. Are you in ihram? Yes, hands up, quickly. Quickly. Right? The answer is no. Hey? Lekker van. But the answer is no, because you didn't make niyyah. Your niyyah binds you for ihram. You can put in your clothes, you can make 2 rakat sunnah, you can make talbiyah. If you haven't made niyyah, niyyah ties you to ihram. Got it now? And what takes you out of ihram? If I come to Makkah, I've done my tawaf, sa'i and all that, zamzam and all that, I'm finished now, I go to my hotel, I take off my clothes and I put my fancy clothes on. Am I out of ihram? Hands up. Why not? Which must cut your hair. Cutting off hair symbolizes. And die wat hare het, those who have got hair? Now they can look for a week, I suppose. No, you symbolize by taking a razor and doing that. Can you cut your own hair? No. You must be out of ihram. If, for example, husband-wife, right? The husband cannot cut the wife's hair unless the husband is out of ihram, right? So he must go to somebody else who's out of ihram. And then you take just a little bit of the bottom edge of the wife and you clip out of ihram. Got it? More questions? Yes, right at the back. Oh, yes?
One more question. Sheikh.
No problem.
In terms of the timings, I think as we have children that is traveling,
Yes.
it does become difficult when your body clock responds, the sun goes down, and especially when you have children at night, when they get sleepy and the orientation at the Haram Sharif is also going to be a situation.
Correct.
So I would be of the opinion that if one should leave after Fajr,
Good time.
it will probably be the better option.
It is a better option, there's no doubt. Have your breakfast, finish up,
Yes.
and as you correctly pointed out, once there are children involved, because in the unlikelihood it doesn't work, then you have to work in shifts. Somebody has to look after the children and so forth. It doesn't mean that you've come there now you have to go, right? Because circumstances are dictating your children, for example, must be looked after. So sort them out. Somebody can look after, and when they're done, then you go. The next lot goes. But the better option is in the day, as we said earlier, because you are a group, and psychologically the children will probably still sleep for the whole drive, I suppose, and then they'll be awake when you carry them in the arm for tawaf. That's how Murphy's law works, I suppose. But inshallah, Allah will grant you ease. Right at the back, Ismail.
The question is twofold.
Yes.
From a ihram perspective,
Yes.
what is permissible to be carried on you when you're in ihram? And then also when you were doing your tawaf, I know there was a lot of question on what we're going to take with when we're out of ihram, but we're doing the tawaf and we're going for salah. What is suggested, or what is more convenient to be carrying with you when you are doing that?
Thank you for that question. I was going to speak about again that, but seeing it's coming up, let me answer it immediately. Carry as minimum amount of things possible. Number 2, don't keep your money in your side pockets. You know, especially if you have your juba on. Unfortunately, they do pickpocket you there. Right? It happens. These things. I know one of my students many years ago told me that one guy came with blades in his nails and slashed her across and took out her wallet and her money from there. This is how sad it is. So when you want to keep your ihram on or stop it from falling, menfolk, take your money belt, right, and put some emergency monies with you there. And then you fold your ihram to cover that belt. That's the one thing to do.
So that is permissible.
Yes, it's darura, it's necessary, you're allowed to do that.
Now there were some questions around things being unstitched and stuff like that.
The unstitched version is as far as the ihram is concerned.
So not what you're carrying.
This what you are carrying it's important, you must have that. That's the reality of it. The unstitched is to do with the ihram. Any more questions? Yes.
Sheikh, I know generally what we are looking at is people say they're performing one Umrah, right?
Yes.
Now, You know, you go to the I think Bibi Aisha's masjid, and then there's another miqat.
Tanai.
Yeah, now that.
Or Ji'rana. There's two.
True. Now that's if you do another Umrah, then you would
Yes.
follow the process again.
Yes. Seeing that you've asked that question, your Umrah, as I mentioned last week, is farad. That's your first one. If you want to perform it again, that becomes a sunnah. My advice to you, perform a badal Umrah on behalf of your mother, father who is unable to come or who passed away, and so forth and so forth. You're allowed to do that.
So you can just explain the difference of those two miqat or
The Tana'in and Ji'rana is not called a miqat, it's called a hill. It's called hill, and it's a smaller miqat as we call it. That is not a place to go out to do your hajj or you know. It's only for residents that are in Makkah and they want to come back. Then they go out to the Ji'rana or to Tana'in. Ladies? Yeah, just the lady in front. Yeah, in front. Because,
Umrah that you make for your parents,
yes.
and you don't want collective one, or must it be separate?
Separate. One per person. Yeah. At the back?
Sorry, my last question.
No problem.
Sheikh, what is the reasoning behind the miqat? Why must we do the miqat?
These were established by Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salatu was salam. There has to be certain boundaries where your ibadat has to flow from. Like the times of salah, there has to be boundaries in times. Otherwise we will be making salah when we feel like. And so there has to be discipline. As we said last week, in ibadah we had to have some discipline, but also tolerance as far as ihsaniyat is concerned. And the others were established by Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But the initial ones. But now you tend to find the Saudis have said that Jeddah is also a miqat, so you can also use that. Unfortunately, myself and some of, like Sheikh Ahmed Fakir, many of the older ulama, they don't subscribe to that. You know? Because you can't abuse things just for ease. More questions? Yes.
Just a question on the scent. On scent.
Yes.
So,
Atar.
Well, that was my question. Is it just for atar, or is it because let's assume that we're packing everything in one bag, and during the flight or when by the time you get there, your ihram now has some scent on it. Not because it was directly applied, but because of everything else in the bag.
No. Anything that's accidental is accidental. Allah will not hold us responsible for anything. Having said that, when we take our ghusl for ihram, are we allowed to put atar? Hands up. Are we allowed to put atar? Those who say no up? The answer is yes. Because you're not in ihram yet. You're allowed to put atar. And that's the only time. Yes.
Sorry, I just want to understand that. So, if I've got my ihram, I haven't made the niyyah.
No.
So according to what we've learned today, I'm
Yeah.
not in ihram.
No.
So now I put on it, it's accepted.
Okay?
Now I make niyyah 2
Yeah.
minutes later.
Yeah, no
But I'm
problem.
still smelling of it.
No problem. Not a problem. Question at the back?
Mark, just a quick one.
No problem.
When we're going from Medina to Makkah,
Yeah.
they said Mastura, you must eat fish. But is it that like it's did that happen or just a?
No, leave those. There's quite a few, but thank you.
Sheikh, there's one thing I wanted to ask.
Just one question at the back. Yeah.
Sheikh, on the point of itar and scent,
Yes.
so now you get into Makkah and you're on your way, settling down, and you're on your way now to go and make your tawaf and your
Umrah, yeah.
and you're in your hotel room
Yes.
and you're taking a bath.
Yes.
So now the shampoos and the scents and the...
Thank you for that question. The answer is no.
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 Okay.
No shampoos, no smelling. Remember the old people used to say, take sunlight soap?
Yes.
Oh, not sunlight soap.
Lifebuoy.
Blue soap. You know the blue soap. I don't know if you get blue soap anymore. But once you're in ihram and you want to take a bath, which is not a problem. On Hajj you'll find it happening for 3 days and 2 days. No shampoos, no... It's to such a degree, you're not even supposed to eat food which is aromatic, like onions, stuff like that. Even that must be stayed away. Yes.
Sheikh, just something talking about Makkah and Medina and Jeddah. So when people are coming for Umrah direct and they land in Jeddah first, where's their miqat?
Dhul Khulayfa, which is over the sea. Remember, if you come from Cape Town, the miqat is Dhul Khulayfa, which is in the middle of the sea, before Jeddah. So the pilot normally announces we are approaching the miqat. You have to, those who are going to Makkah first, they must make their niyyah. So we put our ihram clothes on before the time, hour or two before the time, but we only make our niyyah when the pilot announces. Then it's convenient. Good. We all learn from questions. At least it's so important. Some people are shy to ask, and you actually answering other people.
Sheikh, I'm confused now. So,
Okay.
So what Sheikh is saying is when we bath, before we take our niyyah,
Yeah.
then we can use shampoos,
Yes.
and you can use roll-on, and you can use any soap.
You can use any soap, even if you are making ghusl for ihram. You can even cut your nails. You can shave, whatever you need to do. And
Okay,
then
so
put your...
once you've
Yes.
taken your niyyah, then you can't use anything fragrant.
Nothing.
But now you want to freshen up
And take another bath.
and take another bath. So are you allowed then to use sunlight soap? No soap.
Just use water, rub yourself with water, let the water clean you, and take a shower. That's it. Nothing. Is that okay? Is it answered?
Yes, so where does the sunlight soap
The idea is there's no aroma in sunlight soap, there's no aroma in blue soap. It's very bland. Yes, ma'am, you've got a question. Yeah.
There's a lot of availability of unscented products now. People buy
Yes.
unscented shampoos and soap and so on to take with them, or they are available in Makkah as well.
Yes.
Are those acceptable?
I would be averse to that because of the principle of not beautifying. You see, the mere fact that you're thinking, can we use shampoo? Can we do this? Can we do that? You are putting yourself in a state of dunya. Get yourself out of it. When we want to wash you for janazah, kafan, right? We're not looking at shampoos. We're not looking at anything. We just wash you. Alright? You are putting on your own kafan literally when you go in the state of ihram. So that must be the focus, inshallah. Right at the back. Right at the back. Sorry, you had it.
Sheikh, I wanted to find out, please.
Yes.
If you're going with children, right, there is a point where a mother has to clean the child.
Yes.
So how do you clean your child without soap and that, for example? Are you just looking at unscented wet wipes, for example?
If that's possible, yes. Otherwise, if it has to be done for children, no problem.
And to wash your hands, just water?
Water.
Okay.
Right? Water.
No soap.
No. If you want to use ground, what do you call it? Sand and so forth, soil, it's got magnesium and more properties than soap to keep you clean. Alright, but good question. Thank God for wet wipes nowadays. As your life, our poor mothers, Allah bless them, grant them Jannah, they had to take nappies and wash the nappies and hang the nappies. Today you throw away the wet ones. Make sure you don't throw away the babies with it. Yes.
Sheikh, just back to the ihram again. On stitching.
Yes.
How strict are we with that? This question is specifically relating to elastic to hold up the garment. So it's not a necessity in terms of holding your documents and your.
Yeah.
It's specifically to hold up the ihram.
The holding up of the ihram should be your belt. That belt, that money belt we're talking about, otherwise safety pins.
So just I'm trying to understand the stitching part of it. So when we're saying the belt, I saw a picture of it. It's a leather belt and it's riveted. It's not stitched.
It's also fine. We normally use the one that's made of cloth because it's easier on your body. You know, sometimes you have those plastic hard ones. It cuts into your body. So be comfortable, especially even with your shoes. Not your shoes, your slippers. Don't use those plastic slippers because you'll slide and want to find wet grounds. You will slide like anything. Take those beach stones that are rubbery. Use those kind of stones.
So again, I just
It's not a problem.
The stitching part, the belt can be stitched.
The belt is not a problem. No? Yes.
Sheikh, this is more from a lady's perspective. What would the woman need to do if they?
Okay.
You know, so
They in a state of
yeah, so
of faith.
but during the proceeding of the Umrah,
Yeah.
right? What are they recommended to do? And also during the next few days of Umrah that they in Makkah, what are they recommended to do when they come out? And if they do not want to take any of pharmaceutical products as well?
Thank you for that question. Lady should have asked that question. But thank you for your being shy, ladies. It's very important that you're allowed to take the pills to stop the bleeding in order for you to make your... Because you're going all the way to Medina and then you are out, as they call it. You are menstruating. And then Medina's finished, you still haven't had a chance to go to Masjid al-Nabawi. Very sad. So please take your pills here. Test it here. Speak to your doctors if it's okay, if you can take it, and so forth. Don't go to Medina or Makkah and then test. I've had calls over the years. Imam, I'm spotting. I said, what must I do? I'm here in Cape Town, you in Makkah. Because you see that your psychological makeup and the excitement, suddenly the pills don't work. So test it here, speak to your doctor if you are safe with it and so forth. But if you are menstruating, for example, in Medina or Makkah, you need to do wida or whatever. And if you take pills and it stops it, you're allowed to make ghusl and perform your umrah and so forth. Yes.
So in that state, you're not allowed to come out of the hotel. Is it advisable to still go?
No, you're allowed to come to the hotel, but you can't go to the haram.
Yeah, so there's obviously
We can go shopping with you, and you will be in a state of ihram all the time until you are clean. You know that the ladies, you will be in a state of ihram until you're clean now. Eh? So you're putting yourself into a hardship. So please try the pill. Yes. Maybe the ladies must ask more of those questions.
Sheikh, approximately how long will it take to complete one Umrah?
Depending on the crowd, wallahi. You know, it can take 2 hours, it can take 3 hours. Because when I say Safa Marwa, it's a distance. You know, you've got to walk quite a distance, and in this crowd, it slows you down amazingly. So prep start running down, up and down, inshallah, yes.
Just in response to that, if we leave off the Fajr,
Here's a question quickly.
no, I just wanted to respond to and why.
Sheikh Mal, why it is important that we leave after Fajr is if we get to Makkah, it will be just after Dhuhr. You should get into Makkah Dhuhr time. You're then going to freshen up.
Yes.
Then you're going to complete your ihram, your umrah. Okay. By the time you're done there, it should be just after Asr.
Good.
So you'll be back at the hotel by Maghrib time for sure. It doesn't matter how busy it is, you get done by Maghrib. So my suggestion should be that we should push to leave after Asr so that we can be back in the hotel or make Maghrib Salah and get back, or even get to the hotel, freshen up and come back for Maghrib Salah. But you should be done by Maghrib.
Inshallah, it will be done, inshallah. Again, logistics at that time is going to dictate time. So prep yourself mentally 3 hours. Just mentally. It will take time. No? Then at least you know you're targeting for so much. Yes, please.
Sheikh, for parents, for example, with small kids, are you allowed to take prams with when you're performing tawaf, for example, or do you have to carry them? Or
No.
push chair?
The Saudi authorities are very strict in wheelchairs, etc., etc. If wheelchair, for a start, let's take wheelchairs. If you take wheelchairs, you must get a permission and take your passport, and all that gets done. If it's prams, I can't remember this trip that we went, we saw any prams in the haram, but they won't allow, as far as I know, we didn't see any prams. Maybe upstairs, you know, the big circle, but then you prepare yourself for 5 hours. You can rather be in the inner circle in Makkatul Mukarramah and go with the flow. It might go slower, but the route is shorter, and wallahi, it will be easier for you. Yes, very safe for the kids, no problem. No, they won't get run over. You must also understand, when the men are protecting the women, you know, there's a way of how to do it, especially the men. الرجال قوامون على النساء. Men are the protectors and the maintainers of women, says Allah in the Quran. So when the women are in front of you, the men stand like around you and they give you protection. More questions? Is more here?
Just again carrying on the baby issue. So if one has a baby and still needs to be carried,
yes,
and we've got these, you know, you get these straps.
Sex, no problem.
That doesn't affect the harm for the men or the women.
The baby straps it makes things very easy now.
Also,
it's your ihram. Your ihram.
Also hold the ihram option.
Yes.
So, Sheikh, on the ihram, what I understand is, I think this teaching, if I'm not mistaken, is just solely for the ihram, the imitation of
your basics.
Right, but anything extra is fine. Is that what you're
extra
saying?
For necessity? Necessity, your wallet. You understand? Money that you're carrying in. These are necessity. Where you put it? You can't keep in your hand. So it will be. Those things will be stitched. Yes. More.
Sheikh, just on that point, I think all hotels and the newer hotels have got safes built into their rooms.
Yes.
So I think if it comes to money, but I think in the first, you know, when you're doing your Umrah, your Tawaf Umrah,
your passport are taken away from you in any case.
Exactly.
You know, you won't be. But you would have a cell phone with you. You're going to have a little bit of money. That's common sense. You must have that, and even a bottle of water. You know, because these are the normal things that we should have. But your cell phone, make sure each one of you, because you get lost as well. Right? Especially at Hajj time, it's even worse. But have your cell phones in case you will get lost. That's the only reason for having cell phones. Not a problem. Yes.
Sheikh, I know we're in a new age of technology and social media.
Yes.
So, from I don't know if everyone has a different opinion about this, but while you're making your tawaf, while you're doing certain actions,
I know what you
and you're taking pictures and you're sending it, and
selfie.
Is that allowed?
MashaAllah.
And is it not allowed?
Yeah, you're making a guy, man. You're making a fool of your. It's like standing on the day of Arafah. Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, a quick selfie. Really? I don't like that. I'll be very frank with you. What you standing there for? Eh? Afterwards, when everything is finished, even in the state of ihram, then go take your pictures with your ihram, with your family, no problem. But you know, while you're in ibadah, I saw a clip now recently, guys making ruku and sujood, when he came up from Sami Allah and Hamida, he took out his phone and checked his message and he went down again to sujood. Maybe it's ungesit, but what I'm saying is, it drives home the point how addicted we've become to these things. You can't even get addicted to a tasbih, but how addicted have we become to a cell phone? You must just make a noise, Allah, we're there. You know, so be careful it doesn't run your life, literally. Yeah. More questions? Does it look like it? It looks like next week will probably not be the last week the way things are going. But no problem, we'll see how we got. Because I had more planned to finish today, but mashallah, no problem, I'm okay, you know. The important thing to do is, and remember, is I need to speak more about the ritual side. I have been giving you a lot more on the spiritual dimensions, which is so, we have to make ourselves aware in this perspective. May Allah open your hearts and Allah bless and protect you until your big journey comes, mashallah, and how fortunate you are to take each other in the company of your murshid, mashallah. So fortunate are you all, Allah keep you good for that, inshallah. We will close if there are no more questions. No? Ladies, no? Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursaleen, Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina wa Mawlana Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. اللهم أعطنا يا الله بخصوص هذه الجماعة إيمانا كاملا وأمانا دائما ورزقا واسعا وعقلا تاما وعلما نافعا وعملا صالحا وخلقا حسنا، وأعطنا عزة وصحة وراحة وفرحة وقوة لعبادتك، وأعطنا معرفتك يا الله بحرمة القرآن العظيم والنبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين بحرمة من أنزلت عليه سورة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن الرحيم. We make special dua for Hazrat Abdul Haq Muqaddam Sahab. May Allah grant him good place in Jannah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, and all our beloved that have passed away, may Allah grant him a high status in Jannah, Ya اللهم لا تحرمنا أجورهم ولا تفتنا بعدهم، واغفر لنا ولهم وارحمنا معهم. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وسكنهم في الجنة. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وادخلهم في الجنة. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وارواحهم في الجنة. يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you very much.